Welcome to Cooking Vibes with Leah and Michelle. What do we have today, ladies?
Hi, everybody. I'm Michelle.
Hi, I'm Leah.
Together, we are Just What the Kosher Ordered, and this is Cooking Vibes on WestHempsteadEcho.com. Today, we're going to talk about winter cooking. It's cold outside. It's winter. You want comfort food. You want something warm. You want to just feel cozy. And nothing says warmth and cozy to me than a bowl of soup. I love soup. I can eat soup every night of the week. I love soup. What about you?
I love soup. Who doesn't love soup?
I don't know. Some people don't like soup.
No.
And of course, chicken soup is known as the Jewish penicillin. So chicken soup, a good bowl of chicken soup will cure anything you have. Well, almost anything, not quite anything, but a lot of things that you have. Let's put it that way. And the key for me of chicken soup is using chicken in your chicken soup. Don't use like just bouillon powder. Use like real
for sure
chicken,
you need real chicken
pieces, and also cooking it for a long time. You put that pot up in the morning. By nighttime, it's done. Let it cook.
It gets so
6,
rich.
8, 10 hours. Just let it go.
It steeps. The vegetables get soft and delicious. The chicken gets soft.
So
I love it.
When I do my chicken soup, I like to put some vegetables in those net bags because the ones that get like super soft and mushy, I don't like that texture in the soup, especially if you're going to leave it up for a long time.
Everybody knows that.
In the bags, I put the sweet potato and the zucchini, Leah's favorite vegetable. We haven't mentioned that in a while.
I think we did like 2 podcasts and we didn't talk about zucchini.
Parsnip and turnip. And then loose, I leave the carrots, the celery, and the onions.
Right.
And then I like to add some fresh dill. I also put the chicken in a bag because I don't want the bones in my soup. But after I cook it...
Well, you could strain the soup afterwards.
That's another step.
My mother used to do that.
Did she?
Yeah, she did. She was good about that.
So after I cook the soup, then I take the chicken out in the bag, and then I shred the chicken and put it back in.
Great. But I love the vegetables even when they're soft.
You like to eat them mushy. It's like baby food.
Okay. Me, baby. You give me youth, I'm glad.
That's fantastic. But there's other soups besides chicken soup.
I walk into the house when it's freezing cold and I make myself immediately a cup of coffee. I have many cups of coffee during the day, and I love to hold my coffee so that my hands warm up, and it's just a nice feeling to get warmed up and relaxed.
Coffee, hot tea, hot cocoa, those are all like comforting,
totally delicious
foods. I mean,
when you
drink
feel
coffee
a little
all
bug
year
in
round.
your throat, or you have a slight cold, you can do tea.
So I'm going to give you guys a hint.
Okay, this is
my thing.
Sorry.
From David's Tea. I don't know if they're still in the mall at Roosevelt Field, but I order it online from them. There's a tea called Cold 911. It has like echinacea and other things in there, and it's really, really delicious. And you brew it.
It's not my cup of tea. Oh, God.
You brew it. You add a little honey to it. As soon as you feel a little cold coming on, gets rid of your cold. I swear by it. David's Tea. It's called Cold 911. I'm telling you, it's
not into that.
Really works when you have a
regular
cold.
Tea bag or an herbal tea with a flavor. If you like it, we'll do the same trick.
Not really, because this has other things in it. It has echinacea. It has eucalyptus. It has things that are meant for a cold.
For healing. Okay,
yes.
Sure. Okay, I like fruit tea, pomegranate tea, cranberry tea. Those are my teas. And I really only drink tea when I'm feeling a cold or a sore throat. So 2 weeks ago, I tested positive for COVID again.
Time number 2?
Time number 2. Surprisingly, and the only reason I tested was because we do events and I didn't want to be a super spreader. So I felt it was my responsibility, and then it took me like a good week to test negative. So, but back to myself, thank God, and another COVID down in the books.
Last man standing, probably the only one who has not tested positive yet for COVID. I don't think I've really had a cold in the last 3 years, to be honest. I don't know. Thank God. Let's keep it that way. But anyway, on to more winter Wonderland cooking stuff. So I also think like something that's really good and hearty is like a stew or a chili, like something like that. You can also, these
or
things you
mac and cheese, yum.
These things you can put up in the crock pot in the morning if you're going to work. Some good crock pot recipes so that way when you come home at the end of the day, you have something nice and warm
Split
and
pea
hearty.
soup is also a little bit heartier. It's thicker, and it gets thicker as you freeze it or
And then with something
refrigerate
like
it.
something
It's
with
delicious.
something with like the stew or beef stew or beef chili, serve it with a crusty bread and a big green salad.
with our sourdough bread would be perfect.
And then with a salad, a green salad, and you're set for dinner. It's like not so much to do. It's pretty easy and it's hearty and it's comforting.
Crock pot dinners are certainly the way to go in the winter. No standing over the stove. You put it up in the morning and you set it and forget it. And there you go.
Wasn't there that, there was like this piece of equipment in the kitchen.
Rotisserie.
Like set it and forget it. You like put a chicken in it. It was...
set it and forget it. It was on some
We're
cable
dating
channel.
ourselves. Don't worry about it.
I was going to date myself earlier, but I forgot. See? There you go. Senior moment.
So other like winter comfort foods?
Well, mac and cheese is a yum.
Mac and cheese. Yeah, mac and cheese is always good, especially if it's cheesy. So I don't know if you guys follow us on Instagram, but if you don't, you should at Just What the Kosher Ordered. But recently I posted a 1-pot mac and cheese dish that was so creamy, so delicious, and so easy. You don't have to wash. You don't have to drain the pasta and boil the pasta separately.
That doesn't bother me.
I know, but it was just like one less step, and it was so easy. And like the extra creamy thing was it had cream cheese in it that made it like super creamy and delicious.
So I recently made cheese sauce with ricotta in it, and it was so delicious for mac and cheese.
Really? That's interesting. I don't think I ever saw that.
It was delicious. And after you coat the macaroni, you put it in the tin and you bake it off, and you get the crusty top, which is fabulous.
The crusty top, but I like those little crusty pieces on the corners. I always go pick them out of the ziti or the mac and
delicious.
cheese. That's my favorite part too.
They are delicious.
You know what goes good with that? Garlic bread. I love garlic bread with my pasta dishes. It's so good.
More carbs. There we go.
Do you guys have any suggestions of maybe desserts or something that would be good for wintertime?
Yeah.
Dessert is always comforting.
Well, so, to me, like the most comforting, okay, there's two. I was going to say one, but then I thought of another one while I was talking about it. But something like a hot apple cobbler or apple crisps.
That's
like warm
delicious.
With
Ice cream.
Like a la mode with ice cream on it. And just speaking of ice creams, if you're like thinking of eating it with a meat meal and you keep kosher and you're looking for a parve ice cream, a non-dairy ice cream,
if you're
lactose intolerant and you don't eat dairy, there are some. So Trader Joe's used to make the best parve ice cream,
soy-based ice cream
in my mind, but they discontinued it for some reason. Trader Joe's, bring it back, please. But anyway, Stop and Shop has a huge variety of nationally branded, dairy-free ice creams. I think that's like also one of these trends lately. There's a lot of alternatives for people who are on specific diets.
You can put whipped cream. Today they have dairy-free spray whipped cream, which is incredible. My grandchildren had come from Florida for a weekend a couple of weeks ago, and one of my granddaughters is lactose intolerant. And she was so surprised to come to the fridge, and we were spraying the whipped cream, of course, and she was lucky enough that I had a non-dairy one. I think we bought it by accident, but it worked out for her.
That's great. And then my other thing would kind of be like a chocolate lava cake, like a runny chocolate cake.
Yum.
I think that would be the most comforting chocolate. Chocolate's always comforting.
You know what? But if you also take a hot cocoa and you throw some marshmallows in it, or you put some whipped cream on top, it's quite delicious.
It is delicious. With a piece of chocolate cake.
Okay. Chocolate is always yummy.
Yes. And I think with that, we're going to end our winter comfort food cooking. Thanks so much for joining in today, and hope to see you again soon at westhempsteadecho.com.
Have a great day, everybody. Thanks.
Thanks for watching, everyone. Come back next week for more of Cooking Vibes with Lea and Michele.